In honor of Pisces season, let's talk about the 12th house that Pisces rules in astrology and some common misconceptions in the astrological community concerning the 12th house. So, the 12th house is who you were before you were a descended being, okay? A descended being means that you took your first breath of life outside of your mother's womb. So the 12th house talks a lot about your past life and also who you were in utero in your mother's womb and the experience that your mother was having while she was pregnant with you. So there's this common misconception in the astrological community that people with 12th house moon must have a very difficult relationship with their mother and they don't know how to emotionally express themselves. That is not always true. That's why you have to get a really good experienced astrologer that uses discernment, right? That looks through things through an intuitive lens, a holistic lens. So, first of all, if you have a 12th house moon, that means you're very intuitive, you're incredibly sensitive. You know what's going on with other people's feelings as well as your own. It doesn't mean that you keep your feelings from others because you had a difficult relationship with your mother, okay? A lot of times people with 12th house moon, their mother had a very isolating experience while she was pregnant with them. She did not feel necessarily cared for. And I'm going to use myself as an example in this video. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, I lived about 2,500 miles away from my family, and my husband's family was not involved at all. And as a matter of fact, they made things more difficult for us than anything. So it was just my husband and I had a pretty difficult pregnancy. So my daughter has a moon in the 12th house in Capricorn conjunction Pluto. And I had a pretty rough delivery with her as well towards the end. Now she's fine and everything, but I had traumatic delivery from her with her. So Pluto, of course, is death and rebirth conjunction moon in 12th house. It was kind of the last couple weeks with her was kind of tenuous. So it speaks to that, not that, her and I have a horrible relationship, which we don't. We actually have a really close, loving relationship. But it was very difficult for me to be alone. It was just my husband and myself during that time, okay? And I actually worked throughout my whole entire pregnancy. So I would say my students, because I was a high school teacher at the time, took a lot of care of me. They got me water, things of that nature. Was really kind. So please be careful when you get a reading to overly generalize, or even when you're researching your own astrology, to overly generalize in kind of doomsday things.